water bills. Do you have any plans to address this issue? What measures would you take to potentially lower and eliminate the rate increases, and while ensuring the financial stability of the city's water services?
Well, like I said before, the city does better, it draws in more revenue and it creates more business, our coffers will rise. Our citizens will come in, we'll have new people move here, and we will draw more funding into the water department. So what I see happening with the 6% increases as time goes on in the coming years, and maybe sooner, we can eliminate it because we'll be funded adequately that we won't need it anymore.
Okay.
Well, we've kind of talked about this a little bit before, and I'm not going to paint this in a positive light falsely, because I'll be honest with you. This is a real issue because we have to have all the stuff that we have to have, and we have to pay for it. And guess where that money comes from? It comes out of your wallet, and it comes out of my wallet. And unfortunately, that seems to be the way it is. However, I have always felt like that a 6% yearly increase was kind of high. The first thing I want to do, and I don't know the answers to this, the first thing I want to do is look at all the surrounding areas and see how much their water is increasing and see where we are. What does Taylorville do? What does Shelbyville do? What do all these other areas do? How much do they increase? How much can we get away with that is the minimum amount, but yet still make our budget? What do we do there? Then I want to make sure that we're addressing any kind of old issues, which I think we're going to be doing with some of this new equipment coming in. Because, old stuff has a tendency to be less efficient. If we make it new and we work with it again, some issues need to be addressed there. That might help cut costs. I also want people to understand that if they're having trouble with their water bill, that we want to help them run down what the issue is. It could be that they're using too much water, but it could be they have a leak they don't know about. And I know everybody hates to hear, well, you probably got a leaky toilet. People don't like to hear that because they think, well, my toilet's not leaking, I've done all these tests. But I would like to, create a way that those of us that, we used to have individuals that would go around and check the meters by, in person, and now we kind of drive it and check it. But if there's a person having issues, who's to say that we can't some way, after they've done a lot of checking themselves, maybe try to help them run that down. If there is an issue, maybe find it. As far as decreasing anything, I don't see this decreasing because of the mess that we have got ourselves into based on past years. And every mayor, whether it's Nathan or myself or the people that come 5 years after me, 10 years after me, every one of us has had to deal with this mess. And there's just not a good answer because you have to have the funding in order to fix the problem. And so here we are. And we're just going to try to make it hurt as little as possible. And I know that everybody feels that way. It affects everybody that lives in town. And there's some people that are really struggling to try to deal with that because it's a huge increase every year. And I hate it, but it's tough to deal with. So we'll look into every avenue that we can to try to keep it or lower it or make it better. And so that's all I can promise. And that's the truth.